nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to 420.
I guess the truth is, truth hurts. I try to do the right thing, but sometimes it's something I gotta do first. Nothing to do you worse than true thirst for goose. And they fall in two perks and you bursting loose. Go ahead and check out all the records in my stash. If you really wanna know the wreckage of my past, you say that shit is checkered like the neck of a giraffe, but respect it, cause I stay connected with my brass. And it only takes a second and a half to leave your head disconnected from your neck up in the trash. Bet your ass is your rival. I was reckless, I was brash, homicidal, suicidal with prerequisites attached. Back as a whippersnapper, I would sketch it up from scratch. Itching, I was pitching, I would scratch another batch. Went from sniffing in the kitchen to checks another math. Nowadays I'm moving to the next shit on my path.
Everyone wanna be a gangster. Everybody acts so hard. What happens when you go too far? Everyone wanna be a gangster. You know the story all too well. Everybody hot as hell.
If they tell you it's the truth, then they ass bright line. I'ma need a little proof before I buy what you supplying. Trying to play me for a fool with some nickel-plated iron. Yeah, that's why I pack a Ruger. Paluca, you heard me fine punch shit. Yo, I hit the ground running. Did a little time now. I'm sprinting in the marathon. Never lost step. I just caught up to the rest. I'm flying with them kicks through the air like I'm Luke. Damn, yeah. I'll be on some other shit. Pocket full of money, but I barely ever brag about it. Tip the fucking waiter a dollar bill and laugh at him. A rational, practical joke of a bad table manners. Hock a loogie and serve you the main class. Well, if I'm a dick, then that makes you an asshole. I'll fuck your ass up, bitch. It's the last straw. Hungry like a pack of wolves, I'm acting like an animal.
Everyone wanna be a gangster. Everybody acts so hard. What happens when you go too far? Everyone wanna be a gangster. You know the story all too well. Everybody hot as hell.
Yeah, we all have a hard time here and there. Or maybe every single day of your life is a panorama. And the camera scans you when life hands you a damn banana peel. And you manage to slip it, you demand to stand it. Can you land to keep your feet planted? Man enough to see damage and defeat it. I'm beating this shit out of my weakness, damn it. Be prepared to be lethal at it. People don't need my static, never mind want it. Cause when they peep it, even the Vatican witnesses evil bad as people stabbing each other, screaming at him. This is the greed of the greedy. You're creeping after you. You could be a cadaver faster than people asking you where the bathroom is in the cafeteria for the massacre. Half the crowd with a track so loud it can back them down and make them get up in the same second, and that's profound. Isn't that exactly what happens when you leave us to our own devices? We teach you to get over your crisis.
Everyone wanna be a gangster. Everybody acts so hard. What happens when you go too far? Everyone wanna be a gangster. You know the story all too well. Everybody hot as hell. Oh.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the zone.
Uostarosta.
Huh.
Uostarosta.
What's he doing? That's odd. I'm sure I can fix it. I think.
Wanna get high? Wanna get high? Was that a party or?
Ho, ho, ho.
The world is flat. I'm here to ring the alarm with my puppet like charm, straight from the barn. I'm talking about Flat Earth Farms, cause most don't know. They think we live on a globe, a ball that floats. So listen and take notes, and take it to a higher plane. Immerse yourself in all it contains, in all its glory and flair. Flat Earth Farms can take you there. Open your mind outside the box. No more staring at NASA's Photoshop. No more moon landings, no line to ya. No more people standing backwards in Australia. Just facts and pure truth, planning straight to the roots. Flat Earth Farms help you understand. A magical place on a wondrous land.
The world is flat, and that's a fact. Tell your friends next time you chat. Let them know a ball ain't that. Let's stay playing with the baseball bat. Cause we coming at the barn, a higher place. The Flat Earth Farm.
one other question that she asks, and a lot of people ask this question, and I think it's a good question, so we're going to also address it really quick. So she goes, I'm on board with many things. There are still questions I have, but I can definitely see why there are so many flat earthers. The question her husband gave her, however, is, if it's true, does it change how I live my life? For me, I have to say no. It would be nice if it's true for the government to acknowledge and stop charades. However, I find it really hard, especially knowing someone that works for NASA and his job is to get new packages ready, yada, yada, yada. So again, what difference does it make? Like I said, that's a great question. This is something that is not an easy answer because of the magnitude of what we're talking about here. How it will change your life, first of all, when you understand it, is dramatic, to say the least. Will it change you from having to go to your job every day and the things that you typically do every day? No. But when this knowledge becomes more mainstream and these agencies are starting to be held accountable, and you understand that they're all participating in this, not just the United States government, not just NASA, but China, Russia, India, all of them have space programs. They all have the same symbolism. They're all doing the exact same thing to their citizenry. And the first thing you have to understand about this is that the deception goes all the way to the top. And when I say all the way to the top, you have to kind of get rid of the notion that the people at the very highest levels are working together. The people that control the world we're not against each other. There was never any such thing really as the Cold War. We're really not enemies with anybody else. This is all a facade that's being brought on for our benefit. But the people that are in power, that have all the money, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Morgans, the on and on and on, these are the people that literally run the central banking system, which of course has permeated the entire world. And any country that tries to get away from it, their leaders are quickly assassinated. It goes on and on and on. So you have to understand conspiracies a little bit to understand the magnitude of this deception. So why would they do this? Why are they trying to hide the fact that we are on an infinite plane or on a flat earth rather than a ball? Well, the answer to that, there's a lot of answers to that, but in my personal opinion, if you isolate people into the idea that they're on a blue marble that's in the middle of a universe that is really insignificant, and there's thousands or millions and billions of other worlds and possibly other civilizations, that makes most people think that we are insignificant and that we did actually come about as some sort of an accident. Now, when people believe that, their minds are much more malleable into being given the idea that there is no God, there is no creator, that all of this is just some sort of random happenstance. And because of that, that also gives the controllers this fertile soil to build other deceptions on. And it's all about control. Remember, it's not about money. Money is irrelevant. They print the money. Money is just something that you and I agree has value, but it really is just pieces of paper, right? These people are printing the money. They can print money all day long if they want to, and they do. So it's not about that. And it's not just about power either. It's about total control, mental, physical, spiritual, every way, shape, form possible. And to wrap your head around this type of deception, whether you're religious or not, if you're religious, then you understand that this is Satan's plan all along. If you're not religious, then you need to understand that people are power hungry and they will do anything to gain and maintain this type of control. So I've kind of ranted on this a lot. So John and Jaron, if you would add into this for my relative and kind of elaborate on what I've said.
I would just add that a lot of people don't realize it, but really the fundamental cornerstone of nihilism, and really nihilism is sort of the most profound version of atheism. Really, atheism is probably the most popular quote-unquote religion, at least in America and probably worldwide. There's more atheists at heart because of one simple fact, and that is this whole Copernican principle, or this Big Bang Theory universe where the entire planet and even the galaxy are like a mere speck of dust and completely insignificant in the grand scheme of things. So from that perspective, if the Earth itself is just nothing special, in the grand scheme of things, then how could anything that we do in our lives be of remote consequence whatsoever? And so this whole mindset, again, is sort of the founding cornerstone of atheism and ultimately nihilism. However, when people realize that the Big Bang is a load of theoretical bollocks, then it really changes this entire foundation of the world's perspective of this ultimately nihilist viewpoint. And so even if you don't consider yourself religious, that's probably because you've been affected by this culture that is ultimately nihilist.
Yep, well said. And I think so obvious when you look at, and Bob, you put it perfectly, that just what the money system has done to this country and to the world, really. In the book, Why a Bankrupt America, it said that the Federal Reserve pays the Bureau of Engraving and Printing approximately $23 for each 1,000 notes printed. So 10,000 $100 notes, which is $1 million, cost the Federal Reserve $230. So they then secure a pledge of collateral equal to the face value of the U.S. government. And that collateral is our land, labor, assets. And then it's collected by their agents, who are the IRS, not our agents. And by authorizing the Fed to regulate and create money, and thus inflation, basically, Congress gave private banks power to create profits at will. That's what they do. It's all about making profits for themselves. And you have to remember how big of a conspiracy this is. This isn't talking about just the JFK thing, or isn't talking about just 9/11. It's on an umbrella kind of system to where it is the biggest deception that there is. It actually exposes every other deception, and nothing else brings down the power of the elite, because it really exposes education, science, the economy, television, museums, universities. Think of all the things that have been fooled. I feel worse for the people that are out there building satellites, the people that are out there actually working for these space agencies, the people out there teaching in schools as professors, because they would all come to the conclusion eventually, once this gets out, that they've all been contributing to the lie. And that's got to be the worst feeling that there is. And that's why you have a hard time with a Neil deGrasse or a Bill Nye, these guys ever even considering that the earth might not be what they were taught, because they understand if it's not, then their entire lives have been about promoting the lie. They are tool pieces for the elite, for the lie system, and it really destroys everything. And I'm a perfect example, John, of what you were talking about. When I realized religion had some things in it that didn't quite fit with my reality, and I was done with it, I realized it was many lies there. I popped out of that, and the one place that's there with open arms calling for you, saying, we tell nothing but the truth, we're all about facts and evidence, is science. And I went there with my arms open, ready to embrace them, and said, oh, thank you. I'm so glad you're here, because over there I was just getting lied to left and right. And now I know science is the place to go. Now, thank goodness I'm into research and things that I wanted to know everything about it. I wasn't comfortable in just saying, well, now I realize religion's a lie. I'm just going to be scientific and promote science and just say the word science when anybody talks to me. It would have been really easy. I could have paraded myself around and been really Mr. Smart Guy and been able to debate Christians, and would have been really easy for me. But instead, I decided to look into it. I wanted to know, why is evolution real? Where is the evidence? Why are these things facts? How do they know the age of the earth? And the more and more I looked into it, and the more I asked these so-called science backers, the more I realized it was another religion. And that's ultimately, and I'll admit it, an atheist for probably 6 months. And thank goodness I looked into that science. But I notice out there all these other guys who are just making these debunk videos or calling us crazy. The difference between me and them is that they don't want to research it, or they don't know how to research past the deception layer. I mean, you have to understand, this is the biggest deception ever. It can never be let out. So if you're looking for, well, why does Jaron say this? And you go look up Google or something like that, and you just search it one time and don't try and look at any other sources besides the mainstream sources, then you shouldn't be surprised that you're going to get the exact answer you're looking for. That's only going to confirm what the elitists, or what these people who are fooling us from the top down, what they want you to find. And then they go and make videos claiming these are evidence that we're wrong. And they say, well, these guys didn't even research it. If they would have looked it up one time, they would have found it. That's crazy talk. If you think we don't know the mainstream reasoning behind it, that we don't need to bring that up to people, because anybody like you can go look it up and find that exact answer. That's not doing research. And this is a deception on the highest level that you need to go and dig deeper and look at different bits and pieces and put it together and come up with your own explanation. Because if you're just going to take what mainstream tells you and believe it, then go watch Fox News and enjoy what the mainstream wants you to enjoy. That's the way that they operate. So I just think when it comes down to people asking, how does it affect my life? No, I guess it depends on you. If you don't care that you've been lied to about everything from school, from kindergarten on, everything that you were taught in school was meant to get your mind into a certain frame of reference, to make you think about the world a certain way, to make you think about your parents, and make you think about your friends, and to make you think about your government, all in a prescribed way to make the rich get richer and make you into a wage slave. If you don't care that that happened, if you're happy going to your 9-to-5 job and you're comfortable in your belief about who your creator is, then it doesn't affect your life. For a lot of us, that is a pretty big deal. For me, it looks like 35 years of my life was completely wasted on a false existence that someone else decided to sell me. I'm going to spend the rest of my life exposing it because I don't think it's right. It's not the way you treat other people. It's not the way you treat other beings. We all have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And somebody just said that. They told us that, but then behind the scenes, they made sure that they kept us unhappy and that we weren't free and that they were the ones who got to enjoy the good life while we worked for them.
Yes, well said. So ultimately, to get back to the question, how will it change your daily life? Well, until it's actually exposed, not a whole lot, because we're still slaves to this very same system. We still have to go to our jobs. We still have to pay the bills, yada, yada, yada. However, think about when this idea catches on and the awareness of the level of deception that we are kept under. And I think a lot of people are waking up to it. 9/11, being the fraud that it is, Sandy Hook being a fraud, on and on and on. But at some point, we're hoping that this is going to hit critical mass. And when it does, then all of a sudden, these institutions that are taking billions and trillions of dollars from us to simply enslave us, to keep us going to work every day and never having enough money or time, and other countries that are starving, have no medical attention. And in fact, there's active campaigns to kill these people off, and this is a well-known agenda. But all this aside, when this all goes away, then we're talking about an entirely different world. Then we're talking about the kind of world that would be, I dare say, more utopian. And that isn't always necessarily a good thing either, but let's just say that it would be a whole lot better than what we have now. If people understood that we are special, that there is a creator, and that really, when people come to this realization, we will start becoming more aware of the value of other humans and human life. And we don't look at people as, well, just because they're different from us, then they're wrong and they're funny and they're weird. We see each other as brothers, and we see each other as related in family, and we start respecting each other on a level that is due to everyone. And when that happens and we get rid of the governments that are enslaving us and the people above the governments that are controlling them, then all of a sudden we start looking at a society where we can start improving upon ourselves. We can start making our own technologies that will benefit humanity instead of the elite usurping all these technologies and using it for themselves against us. Like we can have unlimited free power and there's just so many things. I mean, you could go on and on and on and on about this, and many people have researched this. But at that point, everything changes. Absolutely everything changes, because we no longer are living in a slave world. We're living in a truly free world where everybody is sovereign and everybody has much more respect for other selves, other people. So that's pretty much the answer to that question. So it is a big thing. It really is. You can't just brush it off as saying, what difference does it make? It's not going to change anything. Au contraire, not only will it change things, it will change things in it'll bring us to an entirely new paradigm, an entirely new way of life. And I'm sure that many people would much rather live in something that would be considered more utopian than what we're at right now, which is an enslaved system.
Yeah, everything's indeed a commodity, and we call ourselves a system that's governed by essentially capitalism, although I guess you could call it more aptly corporate fascism, but we'll call it capitalism. Even that is a system run by greed. And I think that that's pretty much an ass backwards way to run a society. And really, this whole idea of capitalism and greed as the driving force behind our society really does stem from this atheistic viewpoint that's been going on for the last at least 100 years in full steam ahead.
Yep, absolutely.
The world is flat. I'm here to ring the alarm with my puppet like charm, straight from the barn. I'm talking about flat earth farms, cause most don't know. They think we live on a globe, a ball that floats. So listen and take notes, and take it to a higher plane. Imagine yourself in all it contains, in all its glory and flair. Flat earth farms can take you there. Open your mind outside the box. No more staring at NASA's Photoshop. No more moon landings, no line to ya. No more people standing backwards in Australia. Just facts and pure truth, planning straight to the roots. Flat earth farms help you understand. A magical place on a wondrous land.
The world is flat, and that's a fact. Tell your friends next time you chat. Let them know a ball ain't that. Let's stay playing with the baseball bat. Cause we coming at the barn, a higher place, the flat earth farm.
This could be it, Harry. Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon. Shoot the moon! Not out there on the microphone. On the microphone. Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
What are we gonna do tonight, Singe Man?
The same thing we do every night, Boston Ray. Try to take over the world.
The world of science cares about you. Eureka! We found it. With the tools of science, we have invented, yes, hand sanitizer. But not just any hand sanitizer. This hand sanitizer was developed and approved by the Dark One himself. Here are a few of the things our product can bring you.
Serve, serve, serve. Wow, wow, run. He's my mighty puppy, so bow wow bud. He's my mighty puppy, so bow wow bud. He's my mighty puppy, so bow wow mud. You slept. Warning, the self-destruct system has been activated. Option to override self-destruct expires in 10 minutes.
Kids today, they got no respect for this thing of ours. Bunch of fucking jackals out on the streets now. And let me tell you something. They got no idea what it's like to be the boss. The honor and brotherhood of La Casa Nostra. Pussy. To these motherfuckers.
Better pay me that respect. Call me Don Vito. Corleone, Patriarch, Ice Cold Stilo. Knock it out the park like the great Bambino. Bringing in the bread like I ain't never heard of keto. So you better check your ego. You ain't no Pacino. Fuck around and end up just like Pesci in Casino. Never worried when I see an enemy like Nemo. Even my marine biology bars are primo. I got roots in Avellino. Shout out to my poppy. Italian royalty blood running through my body. Studying Giganti, some Gotti, Tommy Karate. Albert Anastasia murders a fucking hobby. I serve them up with salami and clams on a linguine. Boss of the family, James Gandolfini. And everybody eating around me, never greedy. So salute me when you motherfucking see me running shit so easy. Webby got the game plan, how to make a buck up in the motherfucking wasteland. Started from the bottom, but trust me, I'm still the same fam. Only difference now, I'm a motherfucking made man. Better pay me that respect, Don Corleone. Built an empire and I did it on my own. I ain't worried about they shit, my shit's known. Feet up on the throne and I made it my home. So pay me that respect, Don Corleone. Only talking bullshit, you can hear it in my tone. I ain't worried about they shit, my shit's known. Feet up on the throne, Don Corleone. Hey, eating prosciutto in a three-piece suit with capos all across the state. Those my CT troops. Get that product that we peddle when I leave the booth, and then we push it on the streets. Now my CDs looped all across the damn map with my grip on the throttle. Anybody with the crowns getting Paul Castellano. I'm Joseph Bonanno, don't fuck with Sammy Gravanos. Drinking Montepulciano by the fucking bottle with a stogie. OG, gravy on my gnocchi. Keep my mouth shut, yeah, my biz stay low-key. All these snakes round got me feeling like Mowgli. Keep my friends close, watching foes more closely. Only son of Joni, young Corleone. Get that Genko olive oil imported from back home. My account's all grown and got caught up on my taxes, so the feds don't try to do me like a pawn. Sitting up on the throne, so haters get to betting. How long that I'ma be up here? Well, I just keep progressing. And every day's a blessing from this fucking very second until they asking favors at my daughter's wedding. Better pay me that respect, Don Corleone. Built an empire and I did it on my own. I ain't worried about they shit, my shit's known. Feet up on the throne and I made it my home. So pay me that respect, Don Corleone. Only talking bullshit, you can hear it in my tone. I ain't worried about they shit, my shit's known. Feet up on the throne, Don Corleone.
Now, Chrissy, this is gonna be my cousin Oscar till I die. You understand? Be it an hour from now, be it tonight, or be it 100 years from now. And any friend of ours knows it's going to be the way I say it's going to be. And betrayal will not be tolerated. Not now, not never. La Cosa Nostra.
And it's 148 on
Commander. God. Coming soon to a theater near you. It's a picture in perfect high smear the clear view. Keep it moving, you assuming all the rumors are true. I am whom you presume will be here to bear fruit. Careful, I resume with panache. Oh my gosh, it was destined for me. Wind in my wings, I do not feel the pressure on me. One foot in front the other, I march through this marsh. Yeah, it's harsh, but this hard in his testimony. But you can hear the passion of the loss. The credit is rapacious, but cash ain't what it costs. They defamed his character, asked him what he thought. Misinformed by the misinformed, passing of the torch. Talk less, listen more, pissing more on whiskey I drunk once upon a time in a distant storm. Yeah, they took a shot at killing me. My star rose, a high note, something like a soliloquy, something like it's a killing spree, loading up the artillery. Sycophants dance, the participants willingly fall prey all day, wolf in sheep clothing, under the influence till they fall asleep dozing. Got my ducks in the rows and my accusers I owes them. I don't do this for no one, didn't choose, I was chosen. So then off we go, this is God's plan, homie. I just keep on building off it though.
We back. Thought it was over, stupid? Never. Twinning.
King of the projects, he broke the walls down. His crib was both apartments, double living booths, shot it under both couches. Schwarzenegger been dead, but sexual crazy forever. Studded glove, made a medic to radiant leather. Bitches in every bed, exhibiting father sister wives. Kitchen knives, slime, get your picture line. Make a shit out of nothing like a savage does. Walk up to the biggest bing bong bing, stab 'em up. When guns blast, blood splash, ass the front. Plug had a mustache like Captain Crunch. Young Pesci Papador, El Mahigo with the cowboy hat like Pablo Moore. Speak across between coca products and tokenomics, so bionic. It's ultrasonic how I smoke the chronic. Pistolero for me, Billy Bolero. Barrel wrapped in aluminum foil like a meatball hero. Oh, you better smarten up, but you know's not enough. Bottom up, saw the shot in your half, shot him up. You better smarten up, but you know's not enough. Line him up, for the body and laugh, you out of luck. You better smarten up, but you know's not enough. Bottom up, saw the shot in your half, shot him up. You better smarten up, but you know's not enough. Line him up, for the body and laugh, you out of luck.
You fucking shitting me? Yeah, we back. Big Brooklyn shit, yo. Gorilla Twins ethos. Bing bong. Yo, yo, yo. Don't ever in your life disrespect me. I'm on Jamaica Bay getting brain by the jet skis. Paper coming hefty. Keep my money in my right pocket, cause the devil was a lefty. See, and if I was you, I wouldn't trust you. Catholic school uniforms, I rock the Husky. Shorty, you kinda dusty. I know if we fuck, that pussy must be. It must be. I know your mother, she a custody. Gave her credit when she was sick and now she loved me. Now we getting awards and setting up tours. My Averex in 98 was better than yours. That's a fact of it. Took it back and put the bat of it. Walking up and down Mermaid, who wanna battle me? You don't know no rap as hard as us. Put the barrel to your forehead, you better smarten up. Know the fucking vibes. The Gorilla Twins is back. Like we never left, stupid. Brooklyn. Yo, Bill, let's get it.
We are.
We are blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Throw your set in the air.
Was the intro?
Wave it around like you just don't care.
Was the intro long enough for you, Singe?
Blessings to you. Thank you.
So what do we have here? We have a ton of people already. McSlappin, Andrew Havidic, Noba, Andrea D.
Party on.
Party on.
Waynes and Waynettes.
Ultra Mega Patriot for life.
Garths and Garth Ians.
Alara.
Hey.
Aralaman. Aralaman.
Did you catch that joke?
What is it? How do you
catch that joke earlier?
Araluman. What up? Araluman. What up? What? No, I didn't catch the joke.
Lumen.
Say it 5 times fast.
Lumen. Wait, it's just actually like that. Ultra.
Yeah, we have a
welcome. Mega Patriot for life.
U.S.
He'll never, dude. He'll die Patriot for life.
For life is life.
It's good to be proud of where you're living, of who you live around.
Kim Ray, what's up? Angela, yeah, she's upset. Sorry, Bob. I guess Bob Nodell passed away from Glowbusters.
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear it? You didn't see it in the chat? Angela said it. Bob Nodell passed away.
I didn't meet Bob. I met Mark, right? Yeah.
He was always good to me.
I didn't meet Bob. I don't think I met Bob. I might have met Bob. I know I met Mark.
Man,
it was chaotic. I met somebody.
I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks.
That's cray.
I know.
How come? I'm thinking like we're shifting realities because so many people are dying.
I don't know.
It's not all because the blah blah blah. It's because we're shifting realities. It's something weird. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? I don't know what happened. I'll find out.
Well, nobody knows.
Nobody
That's
knows.
Why
but
we're here to conjecture like we do know.
I'm sure I'll find out.
But admit that we're conjecturing. We never know. We like to guess. Intellectual, educated guesses, one might say.
Yeah.
However, death is not the end. It's just shedding these clothes, shedding this body at the end of the day and moving onward. I've known a lot of death. I became very close to it over the years.
Yeah, me too.
And I realize it's a passing. It's not something to be afraid of or mourned. You can mourn that they're not here anymore.
Everyone
celebrate their life. And this guy, what? No way, dude. We have to have a party for him. Are you serious? He's done so much.
I know.
Wow, I have to have a good party.
I just wasn't
like
prepared.
An Irish wake. An Irish wake is not sad. It's like a happy party. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna have to do.
At least we'll have to figure something out.
Just me saying that actually is probably just helpful. But when someone else will do it, we'll just join in wherever they do it. We're not going to be the ones to do it.
Oh yeah, we're not going to be the ones doing it, but go.
We can join in.
Maybe. Yeah, hopefully.
Stop by and go, hey, party. If it's true, rest in peace. An FE legend, he will never be forgotten. Yeah, we have to find out. We don't know.
I don't know.
We're truthers. We got to really dig, and then we believe it.
I'll ask you.
We still don't believe it sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Which is good. That's why we're different than everyone else.
Now I'm scrambled. All right, you ready? Let's see if they'll let us play
brought
this.
online ready. I was produced in a factory and cloned and then brought online ready.
All right, I'm gonna put my shield over.
That's like saying I was born ready, but I can't say that. So I was produced and brought online in a factory ready.
Auto. What's this? Hold on. Closed captions. Quality. Share. 1080p. No. I don't know. Auto. I don't know. What's this fucking speed?
I am a version
speed.
of a successful clone, although they have more successful versions.
Mafia goes on and on because mafia is something rooted in society. The mafia is infiltrating the economy, business.
November 2021. Italian law enforcement were jubilant, for good reason. Over 100 arrests had been made across the country, targeting the Calabrian 'Ndrangheta, one of the most powerful mafia groups in the world, responsible for untold violence and worth tens of billions of dollars. Amongst the property seizures and dizzyingly large cocaine busts, a few strange details went under the radar. For one, how a batch of coke that had made its way from South America was stamped with a logo featuring an eye and a compass, the universally known symbol of Freemasonry. It wasn't a one-off. Further packets revealed the same symbol alongside the Greek letter Alpha and Omega. For some, it sparked concern about an increasing coziness between mob bosses and Masonic lodges across southern Italy, with their alleged rogues gallery of corrupt senior police officers, grasping politicians, and local business elites. Just how deep does it go? Welcome to the business of crime. In this episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at the alleged links between Italian
Is this the one that we're supposed to like?
Country's Masonic.
I don't know.
A connection that.
And talk
So they're gonna show a connection between. Yeah, it's only a few minutes long. I think we're gonna get away with it. We got the shield up. I think we're doing all right, but
shield up.
So
Nice.
connections between the mafia and the Freemasons.
Nice shield.
First of all, any kind of group that's kind of like secretive is a Freemasonic group, right? Like, isn't that the definition? Like,
no. There's some bad groups. I mean, not to say Masons are bad, but I think there's some worse groups.
Well, the mafia.
So that's not the actual.
Yeah.
And these things don't come about as it's plotted. Like we're gonna be bad. They just come about as this is how shit happened, man.
They had to survive.
Has a long, if not always entirely
life
clear.
just leads you down some paths. This is where you're standing. This is what you got to do. A man's got to do what a man's got to
Few
do.
organizations have captured public imagination and suspicion over the years, quite like the Freemasons. With their secrecy, obscure membership criteria, and long history of suspected corruption, they're a group, it's safe to say, that have attracted their fair share of mistrust.
Yeah, now
Globally,
those are the ones. Okay,
there are around 6 million Freemasons.
6 million.
Now, but when you do say secret group, that's probably one of the first things that comes to mind. Yes, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot more, probably worse. That's why they're secret, because we don't know about them.
Strong presence in the UK.
The real secret groups are the ones you don't know about.
Oh, I know. The ones that can keep the real secrets.
Strong presence in the UK, US, and Italy. Though things aren't quite as mysterious as they once were about the group's inner workings, it's still an organization with significant secrets.
We have to keep in mind that the Freemasonry and the Mafia have many things in common. Both organizations, for example, share values of humility. They share the respect for rules, the respect for the hierarchy.
Respect for the hierarchy. Singeman got respect for the hierarchy. He's an fully illuminated one. What is it? What is it again?
Oh, fully initiated.
Fully initiated.
And now that's definitely true. I'm not just talking shit. Illuminated. Secret society.
Of one.
We didn't want it to be a secret.
One.
I tried to tell everybody. No one listened. So apparently, it's a secret.
I believed you.
Mafia has initiation rituals and rules of don't rooted in secrecy.
Well, what was that? Well, I don't want to lose my spot, but let's see. Come on, don't bust my chops. Code Machinique. Yep, Freemason code. What do they got? The sun, the moon, some bullshit up there, a pyramid, another pyramid, some sort of snake-like animal, star, a J and a B, a BJ. And the behavior is just rooted in secrecy. What is that? It looks like it's written in French.
Is that your mafia outfit? You must be a soldier. I'm an associate.
Yeah.
Soldiers do all the footwork. Associates kind of this, like,
the rules of behavior rooted in secrecy.
Pass the money around.
So the behavior rooted in secrecy.
In Italy, the bond between Freemasonry and mafia groups in the South has a long, complicated history. There are superficially shared values. Both were heavily repressed between the 1920s to the end of
Orphan train to masonry to mob.
Yeah.
State.
So those of you that don't realize it, like last night we did a show covering the orphans became the mob. Now we're covering, we didn't have time to finish it, so we're covering the mafia and the Freemason connection. But we already showed how the Freemasons, the Oddfellows, brought the orphans over and everything else. So it's all connected.
Yeah, I mean, they needed some foot soldiers. Foot soldiers become associates. Associates become bosses. So yeah.
Orphans, mud mob.
And both have a long, contentious relationship
little rascals. Yeah.
with the pillars of Italian political and commercial society, one where rumors of collusion and corruption are never too far from the surface.
The fact that the 'Ndrangheta is well connected and deeply rooted in this society, with connection to politicians, businessmen, police officer, magistrate, judges, and that's the strain of the mafia.
In a wiretapped conversation in 2013, one 'Ndrangheta boss, Pantaleone Mancuso, summed up the relationship. The 'Ndrangheta is no longer, he said. The Freemasons remain. In 2017, a series of police raids discovered 193 high-ranking members of the Sicilian Mafia and the Calabrian 'Ndrangheta to be members of lodges across the South. According to the work of dogged prosecutors and the testimony of mob turncoats, the secrecy of Masonic lodges provided the perfect place to conduct shady deals with figures from the business and political elite. Later, a series of local lodges in Calabria were dissolved after discovery of mobsters on their books. One case which has become infamous is that of Giovanni Zumbo. A well-respected Calabrian accountant, he had made a name for himself, managing properties seized from organized crime on behalf of the courts. But Zumbo was later convicted of mafia crimes after law enforcement discovered that he had been tipping off one notorious local boss about a looming arrest.
We have this guy, an accountant, that goes to Pelle, one of the biggest godfather of 'Ndrangheta, while he was on the run. He goes there and tells to the man, there are the recordings of this, telling, be careful, they're going to arrest you, they're going to make a big operation a week before, and giving also the exact numbers of people that they are going to be arrested. When it's going to arrest it himself.
How could an accountant get inside information about a sensitive police operation?
How could an accountant get inside information about a sensitive police operation?
Turns out one of his fellow Masons was a senior police officer on the same force. This is
Mason, senior police officer, same force, same team.
Critics allege how the relationship works. Lodges are a connecting bridge between organized crime and the state. In late 2021, Masons in Rome won a landmark case that they say poured cold water on years of persistent accusations. It started with Stefano Bisi, Grand Master of Italy's biggest lodge, the Grande Oriente Italia, which
Remember the last time you met Stefano BC Singe?
has over 23,000 members. In 2017, he labeled the sweeping investigation into mob Mason ties an anti-democratic witch hunt. After being slapped with a defamation lawsuit by the prosecution, the case was thrown out by a judge.
In this case, for example, BC, that is the Gran Maestro della Grande Loggia d'Oriente in Italia, he expelled Pittel immediately. And he said,
My nickname was the Grand Maestro in high school.
You see, I cannot control everyone, but I did move him out as soon as I got to know the situation.
What really hurt, BC said, was the blow to its reputational prestige, in that it prompted the United Grand Lodge of England to formally distance itself from the Grand Oriente. After all, he said, 193 cases from thousands of members hardly spelled a crisis, a spirited bad apple defense of the Italian Masonic fraternity. Giancarlo Pitelli was a defendant at last year's so-called mega trial of 355 Ndrangheta suspects held in a former coal center in a dingy Calabrian industrial estate.
I'm sure that this guy, this man, he is dangerous, in my
This man is dangerous, in his opinion.
He is this lawyer. At the moment he was arrested, it's still under investigation. That was arrested because he was the lawyer of important godfathers.
Cases like Pitelli's make the complexity clear. Are the 'Ndrangheta and other mafia groups deeply embedded within the contemporary Italian Freemasons?
Yes.
Or is it really the case of a few lone chancers opportunistically picking up whatever crumb they can?
Questo processo dà la possibilità di spiegare come l''Ndrangheta sia in relazione.
Does anyone see anything wrong with this picture?
Con pezzi delle istituzioni, con pezzi della classe dirigente.
Freemasonry may help the Ndrangheta to succeed, and sometimes they invented deviated lodge or some connection, or they are involved in with members associated to some lodges, but that doesn't mean that the whole lodges are corrupted or infiltrated by the Ndrangheta or a mafia-like criminal organization.
It's just around the money and power. So it's something, because the people think, why we never defeat mafia? We will never defeat, because it's really good and evil, the eternal fight.
Either way, the potential significance of Masonic iconography on intercepted drug shipments maybe shouldn't be overstated. After all, branding is important, even to sinister transnational criminal organizations like the 'Ndrangheta. Symbols come and go, whatever the depth of the links between the organizations. The eye and compass might not be an unsubtle clue, but simply a way to make the shipment stand out, a piece of self-aware marketing. Things aren't always a code to be cracked, however tempting it may be to think so. But if nothing else, there is one link between Masons and Mafia. Their own fraternal codes are the reason they've lasted so long, and it may be the thing that helps them endure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's their opinion.
The fraud.
All right. What's this? John Dick, historian. The Craft. How I came to write The Craft on the evening of 7. Allegedly, the former boss of the Cosa Nostra family. What is this? Just about since 1980, he'd been entire authorities. This is the most dangerous future is The Craft. So this is about a book, I think. Yeah. How the Freemasons made the modern world. Several times during the day I was asked, what is the Mafia? I replied the same that many Mafia bosses do, at least when they have turned stool pigeon. The Mafia is a Freemasonry for criminals. Like the Freemasons, Cosa Nostra has its initiation rituals and rules of behavior rooted in secrecy. Like the Freemasons, Cosa Nostra is a vast network of contacts whose members use coded recognition signals to guarantee that their status is genuine when they are far from home. Both brotherhoods are organized into local cells, which the mafia calls families and the Freemasons call lodges. In Italy, Freemasonry and the mafia is also overlap historically. The Sicilian mafia has its origins in the Masonic secret societies that engaged in the violent political struggle for Italian unification during the 19th century. In short, there is lots that we can learn about the mafia by studying the Freemasons. So it was that I got home. Freemasons Hall. Let's see. Masons themselves, gray hair men in black suits, each carrying identical briefcases. Even in 2013, I have read about the Freemasons to inoculate myself against silliest myths around them. Is it to me? I'm just trying to see what this is saying. All right. Okay, cool. All right. A case study. This is from the British Journal of Criminology. Relevant interconnections between mafias, and mafioso, and Masonic lodges and Masons in the Italian context. The paper sets out to study these interconnections from a social science perspective rooted in sociological and neo-institutional studies of organized crime and mafias, but also in criminological approaches to social constructivism. In the form of symbols and narratives, we will present a case study. Let's see. I don't know. Do I really want to read all this? I really don't. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Masonic rites and mafias. Both mafias and Masonic rites have long histories, which cannot be fully presented here. We can identify, for the purposes of this work, mafias as criminal organizations which aim at the profit-driven accumulation of capitals via illicit means, from drug trade to infiltration in the legal economy, but are also interested in power-driven territorial governance and protection supply. Sacione, Gambetta, Paoli, Sergi, Varese emphasizes a crucial distinction between criminal groups that simply trade on the markets by producing or selling. In Italy, mafia-type organizations have been extensively studied, especially the main ones: Sicilian Cosa Nostra, Calabrian, whose organization structure his stories. As for the Masonry, we refer to the set of the centuries old brotherhood organizations, which are based on fraternal and self-improvement values and organized around a basic organized one. The lodge, each lodge is supervised at regional and national levels by the obedience, which in turn refers ideally to the main Masonic rites, also abroad without independence in their operation. The mafias and Masonic rites are distinct yet occasionally interacting. Organizational entities which in exceptional context may exhibit a partial membership overlap, operational interaction in isomorphic adaptation in areas of Italy where mafia presence has been particularly proactive and where the clustering of certain elites or professions around Masonic lodges has been successful. We indeed find such overlapping also with criminal intent. Double affiliates can profit from networking activities with influential politicians. Yeah, so, it's like, it's connected. The mafia, the politicians, the Freemasons.
Well, at that point,
yeah, what's up?
Maybe not now, but at that certain point in a juncture, it seems like they were one and the same. Not that they were separate. They were just like both. They was the mafia was Freemason. Freemason was the mafia. At one point.
The historic relationship between the mafia and Freemasonry is a fascinating one. For the role that its members have taken in world events, it's a story that unfolds over centuries, crosses oceans, and takes many turns. But once I started asking the internet about connections between Freemasonry and the mafia, it wasn't long before I was neck deep in conspiracy theories about shadow governments run by corrupt pagan cultists in high places. What is true about the relations among the church, state, mafia, and Freemasons? Some connections like those between the Knights Templar and Freemasonry are discredited, but sometimes true stories get lumped in with those that can't possibly be true. The Mafia and Freemasonry, although both secret organizations are not centrally governed, making the New World Order under the... No. A dystopian fantasy, not a reasonable conclusion based on the facts. What has been true, though, much of their shared story history in Italy is that Freemasonry has been a shield behind which the elites in politics, business, and criminal enterprise meet in brotherhood and secrecy, allowing corruption to flourish. Freemasonry today distinguishes work in stone operative masonry from the culture that developed through lodges known
And stoned as well. In stoned. And stoned.
And stoned.
Sorry.
Known
This
as
reminded me, but I gotta get stoned.
Known as speculative masonry, the organization we know today as Freemasonry is believed by most historians to have evolved out of medieval guilds of master stonemasons. The term Freemasonry originally referred to the advanced operative masonry skill to shape decorative stone from the 17th century. Lodges of speculative Freemasons, men who studied the principle. It's a whole history. Instead of the members of the share bonds forge a common authority and mutual recognition, Salvatore Lupo says Freemasonry, the Mafia are similar, both by design and membership overlap. Both organizations share values of humility, a respect for the rules, and for the hierarchy. Like Freemasonry, the Mafia is made up of local organizations that are independently run, but share alliances and concerns with other families or koshé. Since before Freemasonry in Sicily during the Neapolitan Wars, the Catholic Club has considered Masonic membership a violation of Catholic values. Well, it's a lot of reading. Look at this guy.
No one's breaking out the firmament.
No one's breaking out the firmament.
You know, this place is very permanent. Wow.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
So, okay, so it's definitely they're one of the same at point.
There's some signs and symbols.
Which came first, the Mafia or the Freemasons? Basically, what is a Mafia? What is a mob? It's like a mini version of world controllers.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
left, right, left, right. Step forward, soldier. Move it, move it, move it. Left, right. No reaction from you?
No.
Must have been a good hit.
Look, here's some Freemason signs and symbols.
That's a song from Ministry, by the way. Connect the goddamn dots, it's called. Now I'm going to re-listen to it.
Yeah. I don't know who did this. Singeman didn't do this work. I have no idea.
I'm working on agency stuff right now. The Agency. I'm drawing some cartoons for my cartoon, The Agency, the one that we did earlier called The Agency. The cartoon the one that we're making called The Agency that
we've been working
called copy because I'm already making it.
Yeah, we were making it for a while. Good job. Well, so is it just different symbols that they use for different things, I guess? Or it's really cool artwork that people drew? Either way. It's better than nothing. Sometimes people expect way too much. You know? What do you think? What do you think, Sage? Can you hear me? Am I muted? Oh God, he's like laughing his ass off. Is it done?
No, I was just looking at what you're drawing. It looks like tweaker art. Was that like tweaker art for meth heads? What was that?
I have no idea what that was.
So here's a. I was just You see that?
That's pretty cool. Let's put your full screen.
There she is. And I just started drawing the other dude. She's gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" See, you can see through the paper actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's ink on the other side. She looks better. She looks better in person.
Yeah.
There she is. There you can see it better.
Hey,
not Nancy. That could be Nancy, I suppose. But I think she's one of the agents. She's cool, huh? She looks tough. I wouldn't mess with her. She'd probably kick my ass.
I wanna try something real quick and see.
She knows karate and shit. Bam! Hiya!
No,
that's her partner.
I gotta check something out.
So yeah.
I gotta test something. Let's see.
Hold on. Give me a second. Where is it? I can never find this fucking song when I want it. Jesus. Come on. No. There's a good one.
Just trying to find an upside. Snake. Woo!
Maybe I'm friggin' crazy. Can't control my emotions and making my vision hazy. There's a hole in my soul. Some would say I'm singing the blues, just like a prison in Folsom with all these ignorant views you catch belligerent jolts from. But the world we live in is shocking. Make a man desperate and hungry, give him a shotgun. Expect him not to use it when failure isn't an option. I know he'd understand if this God is real and he's watching. God, if you're really listening, remove me from this wrath I'm in to help me use it musically, infuse it in my craft again. I have learned some lessons, but I burned the other half of them. I have earned redemption cause I keep on coming back again. Or maybe I'm gonna crack again from the pressure here. I feel my blood starting to boil, yeah, it gets severe. This is just a fucking trap, I don't see no exit here. I was looking for a sign, this seems like a message clear. Betrayal in my business, it's expensive, yeah. Bad energy is in the air, I sense it here. Looking back at the sequence of events this year, it seems to me that I gotta be relentless here. Those demons in my head, oh they're just tenants here. Drowning out my consciousness, one in this ear. It's becoming clear, they're a cunning pair, running scared. Who's that? Knocking at my fucking door. Someone's that's just two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. Two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. That's just two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. Two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. As high as I am low. Freaking losing it, pampered in my seclusion. It's stranded in this confusion of fantasy and delusion. Intensified by brutality, probably leave a contusion. Desensitized to reality, rather see the illusion. Ain't nobody telling me nothing. This wrath is a cancer. They keep asking about my motives. I don't have any answer, but the question remains. The ride through depression and pain. The destination stay the same, but my direction has changed. God, if you really listen and free me from all this pride I feel, keep these demons away from me, creeping me while I try to heal. Help me to see the truth when these people around me lie. Still put the pieces together, cause I've been feeling divided still. Everywhere I turn, I feel like walls are closing in on me. But none of them are tall enough to hold in all this energy. The key was only chosen for disposing of the enemy. Ironic that the mask I wear exposing my identity. Make a wish you're gonna need it. Now the mystery completed. I just paint a humble image, but the picture look conceited. Living in a vicious cycle, this is history repeated. Your opinion is a waste, here's permission to delete it. Put the smoke into my chest for all the post-traumatic stress. My expression not impressed, trying to focus on what's next. Always battling myself, it's like a constant war I'm in. Who the fuck is that somebody knocking at my door again? It's just two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. Two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. That's just two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. Two other guys they call wrath and pride. Now I'm half as high as I am low. As high as I am low.
On his way to wrath, on his way to pride, on his way to wrath, on his way to pride, on his way to wrath, on his way to pride.
Everywhere I turn, I feel like walls are closing in on me.
Yeah. So what's going on, Singe? What are you up to back there? Doing some work? Looks like you're doing some work back there. He's working. Look, he's working. Let's put him full screen. working his ass off. Working his ass off. What's up, Rasta? What's up, Dr. Bass? I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking of kind of ending the show because I got things I got to do tomorrow. I don't want to stay up too late tonight. I kind of wanted to just come on real quick and say what's up. I'm waiting for Singe Man to come back. Let me see if he'll wake up if I do this. See if he wants to say bye to everybody before anybody.
Serve. You slept. Warning, the self-destruct system has been activated. Option to override self-destruct expires in 10 minutes.
Nope. Didn't phase him. It didn't phase him at all. All right, well. All right, yeah. I think I'm just gonna take off. I mean, there's nothing else really to do. Plus I'm getting tired, so just looking for a song to play on my way out. Singe, you want to say bye to everybody? Can you hear me? No? He probably would, but he's just kind of... You there? No? All right. No. 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 So I can never find this fucker. Give me a sec. I'll find it. It's here. Here it is.
What's the matter? You bums forgot how to kill people? Doesn't your work mean anything to you anymore? Have you no sense of pride in what you do? No sense of duty? No sense of destiny? I'm looking for generals! What do I got? Foot soldiers!
Yeah. Yo, Bear, what up? Salute. Ferrigno, salute. Alright, look. Yeah. See, he ducking, I ain't even have to show him the three. When them shots fly, he ain't even know it was me. How you got chains, stupid, you supposed to be free. I laugh at you assholes like it's cold in the day. It's a million Philly killers, most notably me. Put your mob against the wall like a poster P. What you think inside this big black holster on me? It's the crucifix that dangled from the rosary bead. Ain't nobody fucking with me. Everybody know the time. Motherfuckers didn't get the picture like a photobomb. The driveway full of Aston Martins like a motorcon. Aim the yacht, but let these bitches fly till he emulsified. This the church of Satan. It's the final invitation. Everybody dying. This is final destination. Me and you could go to war. That's the price a soldier paid. The knife word cut the clavicle and touch the shoulder blade.
Blood everywhere, smelling like copper pennies. Get shot in the head. Salute you with a shot of Henny.
Creep up on you silently with the phone nickel shining so vibrantly.
Blood everywhere, smelling like copper pennies. Get shot in the head. Salute you with a shot of Henny.
Creep up on you silently with the phone nickel shining so vibrantly.
Killers with Phil down in you eyes. I kill the mob of you guys. Fuck the fries, just kebab you with knives. Everybody got mafia ties. White castles at the bar, Mr. Appetizer, shotties and knives. Gucci gooses on display, shooters on the way, Brussels on the bay, the Farrah pizza buffet, in exclusive day. Banana hands like Tony Robbins. Spumoni Gardens, the Coney down that homie, we keep the chromie poppin'. Rockin' the 14th century death mask. Gazelle goggles and Fendi headbands. I talk that Brooklyn shop you up talk. Shoot on like you used to fuck off. Y'all never had enough sauce for blood sport. Nor to stomach the floors with the drugs bought. Quarter 100 the floors like a drug lord. Swimming pool shaped like a dollar sign. And choppers that make a day rape out of Columbine. Raiders of the laws, cocaine, Satan mass. Papers of the frauds, coalesce with the ancient math. Blood everywhere, smelling like copper pennies. Get shot in the head. Salute you with a shot of Henny.
Creep up on you silently with the phone nickel shining so vibrantly.
Blood everywhere, smelling like copper pennies. Get shot in the head. Salute you with a shot of Henny.
Creep up on you silently with the phone nickel shining so vibrantly.
Alcamo is a little town halfway between Trapani. Alcamo is a little town halfway between Trapani and Palermo, in Sicily, pretty known for its nice sandy beach on the Gulf of Castellammare. On that specific night, in the Carabinieri's barracks, the Alcamar, two officers are sleeping, the deputy Salvatore Falcetta from Castelvetrano and the 19-year-old boy Carmine Apuzzo from Castellammare of Stabia. It's a stormy night. Around 7 a.m. on the morning of January 27, 1976, the Carabinieri car escorting Giorgio Almirante, passing by, notices that in the barracks something is wrong. The front door has been forced open using a blowtorch. Called immediately, the police entered the Carabinieri station and found a gruesome scene. Carmine is lying in his cot, riddled with bullets. He didn't even notice what was happening. Salvatore, on the other hand, hears the noises, tries to reach for his gun, but doesn't make it in time. Guns, uniforms, and other items are missing from the barracks. It is a marginal event in a remote village in a region that has far more remarkable killings to remember. But the affair is disturbing because of its consequences and due to the fact that even today, so many years later, no one knows the reason for this massacre. Of course, speculation has been made and some stories have emerged. And that's what I want to talk about with you today. Regarding that massacre, there's still no clue about the real perpetrators. Too bad these people were innocent. The atmosphere that there's in Italy in those years is not the easiest. It's called the years of lead, not by chance. The danger of terrorism, the Red Brigades, the mafia, the twisted secret services. That was basically Italy. Was. Sure. Anyway, it was winter in Alcamo. An ideal place and situation for landings of smuggled cigarettes, drugs, and perhaps even weapons. The investigators' first suspicion fell on the Red Brigades, although, to be fair, there was a claim by a group never heard of before. A few hours after the massacre, in fact, the Nucleo Sicilia Armata broadcasted this telephone message in an inflected tone of voice to the switchboard operator of the newspaper La Sicilia.
La giustizia della classe lavoratrice ha fatto sentire la sua presenza con la condanna eseguita alle 1:55 ad Alcamo Marina.
A message that investigators gave little weight to. No one will ever hear from this group again. It was a but the caller had seen or
how much weight do you give to that message
in the barracks. 3 days later, Red Brigades disassociated themselves from the action, and that lead died. Then there was a plot twist. At checkpoint, a young man, Giuseppe Vesco, called Pino, originally from Alcamo, was stopped in a Fiat 127 with a false license plate. He's an odd one, to the extent that his fellow citizens call him Crazy Giuseppe. He's missing his left hand, blown up along with a device he had detonated in a meadow. They found on him a gun.
Sid, do you remember Crazy Giuseppe? Remember that guy?
With the little colorful hat and a little
Yeah.
cart full of fruit.
Yeah,
Fruit cart.
Yeah, we used to call him old Crazy Giuseppe, but he didn't like that. He didn't like when we used to mess up his name to Giuseppe.
Giuseppe. Hey,
Yeah.
Giuseppe. That's hip, though. We told him it was more hip.
We used to, when he used to walk by in the hallway, we used to say Giuseppe's cray cray. Remember?
It's cray cray, and that's more hip. You gotta get with the times.
He'd be like, what? He'd be like, Giuseppe's cray cray. And he would love it.
A 7.16 5 caliber, the same kind used in the massacre of the 2 Carabinieri, and then another pistol, a Beretta, supplied to the Carabinieri forces. The conclusion is obvious. It was him. Pino sits in absolute silence, broken only by rambling phrases such as, "I consider myself a prisoner of war." Then, at the trial, he retracted everything. For the press, he's the monster. But the question is, what happened between the arrest and the trial? To understand this, we can take a look at the letters Pino sends from prison to his mother, even though often there's no address here. What came up at first, at least, was the figure of a proletarian fighter, Red Brigade style, and so it was in this direction that the investigation moved. But Pino also has an obsession. They, he says, want to kill me, making me look crazy and locking me up in an asylum. And he spoke about the torture by the Carabinieri he endured during the interrogation. He did so with extraordinary lucidity. After being stretched between 2 boxes, he confesses that he was poured a liquid down his throat with a large funnel. It was used to simulate suffocation. Pino is not a hero, like the ones we see in the movies resisting great tortures. So the Carabinieri get what they want. The hiding place where the guns, the uniforms, and whatnot are collected, but that's not enough. The Carabinieri want the name of the accomplices, and so the torture starts again. Eventually, he can't take it any longer and calls out 4 random names, those of 4 friends with whom he occasionally spends his free time. At his own trial, he will deny everything, but a Carabinieri murder is not something one can understate, so he ends up in jail while his alleged accomplices are sought. Speaking of confessions, in 2007, 32 years after the events, a former Carabinieri, a certain Renato Olino, went over Vesco's interrogation, reporting on the torture exactly as he had described it. But more on this later.
Ho sempre pensato che tra mafia, servizi e anche massoneria ci sia un'unica regia.
The names given by the tortured Vesco are Giovanni Mandala, a fireworks maker, Vincenzo Ferrantelli, Gaetano Sant'Angelo, Giuseppe Gulotta, 4 friends. A couple still minor.
I remember the fireworks maker, since man, you remember that guy? Giovanni Mandala, the fireworks maker. You remember that? Remember him?
Who knew nothing at all about politics and struggle. Yet,
he used to make us fireworks, dude, every 4th of July.
They too confess. Then at the trial, they will say that their depositions are the result of heavy torture suffered during their interrogations. Pino
was in jail.
He died in prison.
Yeah, it was like 4 years in a row, but then he died in prison.
By hanging in his cell. The sentence was immediate. It was suicide. How he made the slip knots and everything else with only one hand remains a mystery.
Yeah, so he was hanged in a cell, suicide, when he was tied a slip knot and everything with only one hand.
A mystery that investigators do not seem to care about at all, but the other 4 remained. As they awaited their appeal, the 2 minors, Ferrantelli and Sant'Angelo, fled to Brazil, seeking political asylum. The sentences on appeal were harsh. 20 years for the fugitive.
I've been thinking about fleeing to Brazil a lot lately too, Singe. What do you think about that, Brazil?
Except for the incident you had there, that would be fine.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to enter the country anymore, but I think if I, walk in speaking Portuguese, they'll let me by.
Life imprisonment for the others. Sant'Angelo would return home in 1995. Mandala would die in prison of illness, while Gulotta would go to life imprisonment. In short,
Mandala died in prison.
A psychological torture. Eventually, in November 1999, he was locked up in prison, where he would have to spend the rest of his life. Unless this. During one of the many review trials, a former Carabinieri comes forward as a witness. He has much to tell. The year is 2008. 32 years have passed since the Alcamo massacre, and Gulotta has been in prison for more than 18 years. He has certainly aged, but he's still hoping for some judge.
He'll get out
to prove his innocence, because none of those who were arrested had anything to do with those killings. The former Carabinieri's name is Giuseppe Olino, and what he recounts is gruesome. The torture took place, including electric shocks to the genitals, with the presence of a doctor who determined when to suspend.
Electric shock to the nuts by a doctor. Look at that. How you like them apples? You didn't think I was going to find anything good in this video, did you?
I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you whether that's good or not.
Oh, but look at him. He has the thing on the caduceus on his head. The caduceus.
Well, he's a doctor. I'm not, so he knows best.
He's gonna give you a zap to the balls, dude.
And went to
he's gonna zap your nutsack.
Begin again the torture, with military and weapon officers whose misconduct was so close to the methods of the Spanish Inquisition. Olino also said to disagree with that torture, so why wait 32 years to spill the beans? Also interesting is the choice of targets to pursue during the investigation. Those to be attacked were leftist formations, even known extreme ones. Olino even recalled a search at the home of Peppino Impastato, journalist and fierce antagonist of the mafia in the town of Cinisi, the race the mafia led by Tano Badalamenti. And it was Peppino himself who would distribute a very critical leaflet, in which he wondered why the mafia wasn't fully considered guilty for that crime. All that remains is speculation, lots of speculation, involving from time to time the Italian state, the mafia, and the smuggling of the secret services. There is the suicide of Pinovesco. There is the discovery of the bodies of the two carabinieri. And how is that Almirante's guards drive past the barracks that very morning? Why does the court bluntly condemn four thugs who have no record, while it's clear that the murder was organized by prepared people? Olilo's deposition sparked new investigations and lead to a new trial. On February 2012, this happens.
In nome del popolo italiano, la Corte di Appello di Reggio Calabria revoca la sentenza di condanna emessa dalla Corte di Assise d'Appello di Catania in data 29/11/89 e assolve l'imputato Gulotta Giuseppe dai reati allo stesso ascritti per non aver commesso il fatto.
After more than 23 years in prison as an innocent man, Giuseppe Gulotta is...
I can speak Italian that fast.
Totally,
too.
what she said.
Yeah, I can speak Italian that fast too.
I mean, she said it all. I don't even have to repeat it. It's awesome.
I speak Italian at lightning fast speeds like a cat.
To make a remark about the many mysteries of our republic, which is full of depredations, false evidence, almost always done to protect someone or something. We even have to say that Gulotta was lucky, even though he was deprived for a very long time of the most precious asset we have in life, our own freedom. At that time, Deputy Prosecutor Antonio Ingroia was working in the city of Trapani. Ingroia opens 3 investigations at the same time, one on the killing of Peppino Impastato, one on the events at Alcamo Marina, and one on the alleged suicide of Pinovesco. Everything that happened, according to him, was done with one purpose, misleading the investigation. So the questions became, from whom did the Carabinieri have the order to act as they did? To cover who or what? There's no definite answer to these questions that may be proven by facts, and this can only mean that behind the whole maneuver, there may be someone or something very powerful. Even if there's no evidence, we do have a lot of clues about what could have happened. We have a belief. There's Ingroia's belief that the infamous stay-behind secret army formed by NATO after World War II to resist from behind the lines, hence its name, the communist invasion of Europe by the Soviet Union, had something to do with it. Since no such invasion ever took place, the various national rigs of the organization, which in Italy goes by the name Gladio, like the Roman sword, delighted themselves with other little games. Perhaps it's no coincidence that a series of bombings is unleashed in Europe, starting with the mother of all bombs, that of Piazza Fontana in Milan in 1969. In Belgium, the Brabant Walloon gang, affiliated with Stay Behind, carried out 16 assaults on supermarkets, resulting in massacres of civilians, including children, at the end of which 25 were killed and 28 wounded. It may sound curious that Ingroia simultaneously opened investigations into the events in Alcamo and the death of Peppino Impastato, a death that, at first absurdly categorized as a suicide, will be attributed only much later, in 2002, to the boss Tano Badalamenti and his Picciotti.
Mio fratello è stato assassinato ed è stato portato qui, su questo binario. Gli hanno messo l'ucciotolo nel petto ed è stato fatto saltare in aria.
What relationship could there be between Gladio and the Sicilian mafia? Also, why specifically in Alcamo? There is one remarkable detail. During the search of Peppino's house, a folder with the heading Giuseppe Vesco is found. This is a certain fact. It's written in the Carabinieri's report. But what happens to that file? No one knows. It disappears into thin air. But what the hell did the two Carabinieri in the barracks have to do with it? Let's focus for a moment on the Gladio secret operation. After inquiries and parliamentary questions, the existence of Gladio was finally revealed publicly by the then Prime Minister Giulio Andreotti. It is October 1990, and among the many pieces of information, probably not all of them, there's also one about the deposits of weapons and explosives that the clandestine army had set up almost everywhere in Italy. These depots, called nasco in Italian, that is, hiding place, had been the main trail that an Italian judge, Felice Casson, followed to shed light on the killing of 3 Carabinieri in the northern city of Gorizia. Casson was one of the first to understand how black gangs entered the crimes and the bombings, often covered up by our secret services and the terrorist organizations of the time. However, 1,000 miles south of Gorizia, in the basement of a mansion, a nasco, a hideout of weapons, is discovered. Guess where? In Alcamo. Perhaps the two Carabinieri had stopped some bus carrying weapons from the arsenal and discovered things they were not supposed to discover. Ingroia has been following mafia affairs for a long time and excludes categorically that the criminal organization could have anything to do with that hideout. You have to know that a lot of mysteries of the Italian Republic came to light thanks to that people that we call justice collaborators, which for the sake of brevity we also call pentiti, repented. There have been a lot of excellent ones. Just think of those from the Maiana gang, those from the Red Brigades, and even those from the Sicilian Mafia. And once Andreotti had revealed to the nation the existence of Gladio, many whistleblowers popped up. They did it in secret, disguising their voices on the interviews, but despite everything, the information was precious. The first question that comes to mind is this: what on earth is Gladio section doing in a remote corner of Sicily? Maybe it served as a base, a point of contact with colleagues in the Balkans, North Africa, and the Horn of Africa. To do what? Honestly, if we had learned anything from the unresolved death of 2 Italian journalists, Ilaria Alpi and Milan Rovatin, it is that, for many years, to those countries, there was a huge traffic of weapons and highly toxic and radioactive waste coming from all over the world. Weapons that traveled on special aircraft, both military and international planes operated by governments. But this is just one of the many investigations of our murky republic. There are then several investigations linking Gladio to the mafia. Excellent names pop up, such as that of Vito Ciancimino, mayor of the city of Palermo. The judge Giovanni Falcone himself tried to understand the links between the mafia and Gladio, while investigating the murder of the politician Pio La Torre. But Giovanni Falcone faced a wall of silence, even from his superiors. We call this silence omertà. Does all this have anything to do with the massacre of the two carabinieri in the Alcamo barracks? Actually, yes. Vincenzo Calcara, a repentant of the mafia family of Castelvetrano, a town that lies 50 kilometers south of Alcamo, speaks about it. Calcara is an important pentito. From his confessions, we begin to understand something. Calcara was in a cell with Pino Vesco when he received orders from a mafioso called Antonio Messina to leave him alone in the cell. The commission to make him commit suicide is carried out by a mobster and 2 prison guards. On the responsibilities of the 4 arrested, Calcara is crystal clear. They are just victims, of no importance to the business of the mafia. Yeah, but what about Gladio? One of the hypotheses of the massacre of the two carabinieri is that they had seen a weapon delivery on the coast. Maybe a delivery of weapons that the mafia had prepared for Gladio, or vice versa. The mobster Antonio Messina also doesn't back down and tells his truth. He claims that the massacre in the barracks happened by mistake. In fact, some mafia actions against institutional headquarters in various Sicilian municipalities had been planned at that time. The counter-order, given at the last moment, hadn't arrived in Alcamo, and therefore the barracks had been stormed anyway. But Messina himself tells Calcara that the two carabinieri had seen things they were not supposed to see, and so they were prevented from harming not Cosa Nostra members, but those connected to it. And here we are again, the Mafia Gladio Secret Service plot. An exchange of favors, in short. As in many other stories of the Italian Republic, the 3 main questions, who did it, why, who are the perpetrators, very often remain unanswered, as the real answers are covered from time to time by the imposition of the state secrecy, by the misdirection of investigations carried out by the forces that should be seeking the truth, and sometimes by people's omerta, and even by our people who stand by and watch, while the few who dare to raise their voices end up victims of a system that is both absurd and ruthless. All there is left is to understand how things turned out after the acquittal sentence for Gulotta and the others. Not for Giovanni Mandala. The cancer is faster than justice and took him away in 1998. Despite everything, he's found innocent 15 years after his death. Justice in Italy. Fast, like Internet Explorer. Vincenzo Ferrantelli and Gaetano Sant'Angelo, the 2 teenagers who fled to Brazil and that was sentenced to 20 years, were compensated by the state in 2017. Requests for much larger compensation were rejected by the government. However, the most dramatic story remains that of Giuseppe Gulotta. There is also a book about his history, but unfortunately there's no English translation yet. There is even a foundation named after him, with the purpose to preserve the memory of the miscarriage of justice resulting from the torture Gulotta suffered. Gulotta has become a symbol of judicial errors, which, if one reads the chronicles offered by the website errorigiudiziari.com, judicialerrors.com, these errors, well, are many in our country, and cost millions of euros in compensation each year. This whole story has focused on 4 unfortunate guys who were wrongly imprisoned. But I almost left behind the 2 killed carabinieri, Salvatore and Carmine. Today in Alcamo you can find a monument made to commemorate them, and every January 27, people lay a crown in memory of these 2 carabinieri. And just like that monument, this video is done to keep the memory of those 2 boys alive. Thank you. Per aspera. Ad astra.
Whatever. Did nothing.
No, I could tell he was from the West Province. Couldn't you tell by the accent?
Yeah. I've been up there before, but you know, I came down to the north south. Shit. All right. Well, I think I've had enough. What do you think, Singe? You've had enough?
I've become quite frustrated with my lack of hidden passageways and stashes of weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
I need more of those.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I'm full mob yet. I need like my wall to slide back and
like hidden rooms.
And to be like a whole laboratory back there, like Dexter's lab.
Hidden rooms?
I think that's what I'm lacking. Hidden rooms and hidden passageways.
Don't let these guys hear you. Just don't say that too loud. These guys behind me, man.
I don't have enough of them. I didn't say I don't have any of them. I don't have enough of them.
Don't say nothing about the. I can't say hidden rooms backwards. I was trying to do Pig Latin. Oh well.
Well, meth heads think that there are little tiny cameras in the paint, and they're right. So I don't know.
They are, yeah. Sometimes.
You just gotta buy the right paint. That's all.
Oh, shit.
It's a certain type of paint. It's very expensive.
Try something else real quick.
No, I'm sitting there over here doing art. Yeah, I could do a little bit more, but pretty much done. I'm just sick of it all. Don't believe of any of it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
it's all very provable, very logical. Makes sense, but it's really cool because you connect the orphan train to that. But the orphan train connects to the mud flood, which connects to Tartaria, which connects to the Anunnaki, which connects to where we don't know after that. Actually, as far as our human written history goes back to Mesopotamia area, I think. So that's pretty far back.
Yeah. Well,
500 AD and stuff, I think. And that's just all guesses too, right? They were far more.
There you go. There's a picture for you.
Even they say they're guessing at that point. What? Yeah, they always say they're guessing. If you just listen to their whole stupid boring things at the end, they say, but we don't really know. They always say, look at the bowler hats. Nice. I was trying to look as mobster tonight as I could.
Hidden hand.
See? I got my other hat over there, actually.
Because they're all doing this guy's got a hidden hand, that guy's got a hidden
I just
hand.
pulled my pad and it hit the ground.
Oh, you all right?
It's all your fault.
Well, you all right? Are you all right?
Well, I don't care about me. It's a $200 pad.
What pad? What do you mean pad? iPad?
No. Drawing pad. You draw on it.
Is it all right?
It's pretty damn tough. I'm going to buy another one too. And it knows it, so it's going to keep working.
Hidden
See,
hand.
I don't like the way the cord pulls off the edge. I'm going to buy one that has no cord.
Is this guy doing the flat sign? No, I don't know.
No, walk around.
No, he's
that
doing some
won't
kind of
happen
hand.
either. It only fell off because I
Kind
pulled
of
the cord.
handshake.
See?
Some kind of handshake.
I'm going to get rid of that cord, buy a whole another one. Set this one up over here on a desk. I got to reset my area because the agencies told me I'm unorganized.
They love it. They love it. Mug shots. Oh.
Well, I eat health food and stuff, but I just had an Entenmann's cupcake, so I guess I'm not that healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes so good.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. I think I'm gonna get out of here. I think I am. I don't know. Why do I keep looking? I just force government schooling. Uh-oh. No forced government schooling. This is what's gonna happen. All right, what's this? Lynch mob justice. Whoa. Watch out.
Yeah, they'd like to force that because then they could teach.
Look at this,
any
Boston.
particular sort of mindset.
This is the Boston. This is the Boston Stamp Act mob protest. Look what they did to this dude.
They waterboarded him?
I don't know, dude. What's this? I don't know what they would call that thing. It looks like you're using tea, like hot tea down his throat, dude. Oh, you can't see it because.
No, I'm looking at it.
No, well, it's cut. We're covering it. Hold on. Let me go back and switch off.
It looks like they might be getting him really drunk too.
That's a good one.
Wait, oh, I see. I see a little teacup thing.
Oh yeah. What if it could be alcohol, right?
If you get too drunk, you'll be dying.
They're like, here, have another shot of moonshine, you asshole.
How evil they are. It doesn't matter what a person does to you. You don't do that. Wow.
Look at them. They're like,
he's tarred and feathered.
Look at
He's
her.
tarred and feathered. See that?
Oh, he's tarred and feathered.
I think that's my guess. First guess.
Oh wow. Or it's a Bigfoot.
I know. What is that? It's supposed to be tarred and feathered. They're killing him. They're torturing him. That's horrible. You should just kill someone if you're going to kill him. Just get it over with.
Look at the look on this dude's face right here.
I would come up and save him. He's so evil. Look at the guy behind him. Go back behind him. Behind him. That guy. Go back.
Yeah, they love
no, all the way in the back. Other way.
This one.
No, other one.
This one.
Yeah. What the hell? He's all ho ho.
He looks kind of baked.
He's like, I'm glad that's not me. I know these guys are crazy, huh? Now somebody saw that and they remember they had it in their head and they went home and drew it.
You should take this and you should make it say Mud Mob or Boston Ray Mud Mob.
Oh, that'd be easy too.
Yeah, do it. Perfect.
I mean, easy for me, right? I gotta put that in there. It's easy for me.
There's
Whitey. Click and click. There, I'm good. How many clicks? It's a Tartarian Bigfoot, says Andrew.
It's a parrot.
A Tartarian Bigfoot.
He's like, oh, I got a parrot.
Parrot. He's like, I'm some mobster that you don't even have to say it. Just look at me. Boom, baby. So my stepdad, who was Italian, he used to always make jokes that he had connections with the mob. And I think he actually really did.
He probably did.
Manarello.
Uh-huh.
Nick Manarello was my stepdad. He raced cars from Italy. He worked on Italian cars.
There he is. There he is right there. There he is, your stepdad.
He owned an Italian hot rod shop. Had a good amount of money. Not rich, but comfortable. Enough to make jokes that he had mob connections.
Yeah.
He was a good guy. He let me live with him when I was a little brat. So he must be a good guy.
Chicago outfit, organized crime.
Oh, look, there's Dr. Kaufman. Oh, it's Mr. Kaufman. It must be his grandfather.
It kind of looks like a pyramid, like a tetrahedron of trust.
My roommates just started yelling at me. I gotta be really quiet.
Well, we can. We're
gonna do this like 2 or 3 more hours, or what?
No, I'm getting out of here.
Oh, you're hungry. That's right. Okay, yeah. Good idea. Yeah, you gotta get our sleep and be warriors.
I have shit I got to do tomorrow. I got shit to do. Okay, guys.
You have to sleep good, eat good, and exercise good. Grandma told me that, so she must be right.
Well, at least we had fun. All in all, at least we had fun.
Let's see where we're going to.
Blue Pac-Man, Bearsworth, Andrew Havidik, Timothy.
Camera, this one. Boom.
Michael Joshua Lewis. All right. Jellyhead, what's up? Nuba. No. Nobody chickened out from a debate. I'll debate them.
I don't debate those guys. Years ago, I just stopped doing it. I was like, psst, it's a waste of your energy. These energy suckers. I don't give them my energy no more. Boom, baby.
Rasta.
Dr. Bass plays guitar. You should play one of his.
Play
one of Dr. Bass's guitar clips.
Yeah. All right.
Or do you want me to?
Which one you want to play? You have a particular one? Or you just gonna
play his newest?
Go ahead. You play it.
I'd have to go through. It'd take me longer.
All right. I might be able to find it.
I would have to log in and everything. It would take me approximately 1.5 minutes. We probably do it. Right now, I'm like a calculator.
I can try to do it. Hold on. If the channel comes up from it. Yep.
You're already up. It'd take me longer.
Let's see.
If you want me to. Maybe we actually. Does he mind if we show it? Yeah, he won't care. Obviously.
No, he wants us to show it.
We're gonna say your stuff, Doctor. If you don't like it, then
this one seems like it has a lot of views. So we'll play this one. I don't know. I just picked. I just picked at random. All right. It wasn't like I didn't mean to do it. I don't know which one it is.
Well,
It
he
just
just
had
put up one.
It had a lot of views. No, the other one he just put up was short. This one a little bit longer, giving him a little bit more time.